The anger in our culture is clearly on the rise right now. Now, this was obviously true before even COVID-19 or the death of George Floyd, but those two events have only served to fan the flames of anger and rage. Now, there is a righteous kind of anger that is primarily in response to injustice, but there is also a human kind of anger that ends up destroying more than it builds or changes. And so an important question to ask is, how can we avoid getting drawn into the human kind of anger? In James 1, verses 19 through 20, we read this: "My dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry, because human anger does not produce the righteousness that God desires." Now, this is not just a three-part list in no particular order. Listening and speaking and anger are all connected to each other, and they have an effect on each other. They're kind of like dominoes that line up, that tend to affect each other. And so what this is saying is that if we will listen first, if we will be quick to listen, that's our first move. And then if we will speak second, in other words, we're going to speak slowly. We're only going to speak after we've taken the time to listen. Then the result will be we will be slow to be angry. But if you switch the quick and the slow words in front of listen and speak, then you automatically switch the word in front of angry. So instead of being quick to listen and slow to speak, if you are in fact slow to listen and quick first to speak, then you will automatically be very quick to be angry. Now, we've always struggled as a fallen human race to be slow to listen. We tend to be really slow in listening. That's why this verse tells us to be quick to listen, because that's not our natural tendency. But I think in this age of Twitter and Facebook and the 24-hour news cycle, we have as a culture almost completely abandoned listening. Everything is now about broadcasting or posting a short and angry argument or getting our message out. And so our culture is becoming one primarily of just public debate. We traffic and talk about arguments spoken by people that we don't even know. We don't really know what's true of their lives. But in the New Testament, we are told to love one another. The operative word in that phrase is one. We cannot love at a distance. Love can only take place up close, one-on-one. So if more of us would take the initiative to listen, rather than just respond and declare our thoughts or ideas, I think we would have a better chance at loving each other. Now, we might still disagree with the person we're talking to, but at least we would be treating them as a person and not just the opposite side of a debate that's got a lot of emotion to it. I think one of the best indicators of listening to the person is that you're asking questions of the person that you're trying to listen to. Not the loaded kind of questions, not the accusing kind of questions, but curiosity questions. So if while someone is talking and you're already formulating your argument or your response, you're probably not listening to them. But if on the other hand, while you are or they're talking, you're formulating a follow-up kind of curiosity type question, well, then you really are listening at that point. So James 1, 19 through 20 again, we are told, "My dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry, because human anger does not produce the righteousness that God desires."